Last week, Xbox had their annual Developer Direct, where we got our most in depth looks yet at Fable, Forza Horizon 6, Beast of Reincarnation, and a new game announcement. Did what we saw do enough for us to get excited? Let's find out on the Late Night Gamer podcast. Welcome back to the Late Night Gamer podcast. I am your host, Welchy, and joining me tonight, as always, are my co-hosts, Mr. Pop Figures himself, Andy.
Hello, guys. Yep, happy to be back. And it's weird that I'm actually excited to talk about Xbox stuff now when we're not even Xbox players. So, yeah, interesting.
It's been a while to be excited for an Xbox fan, and also joined by our resident horror expert, Stephen.
Yes, hello, really lovely to be back as always. And yes, I'm looking forward to talking about Xbox. It's kind of giving me that nostalgic vibes of my decade with Xbox before I sort of since went over to PlayStation. But yeah, there's some interesting games to talk about today.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they've been doing these now for 3 years, 4 years. The
Do
first
they
one they
always hit in
did,
January?
always in January, Developer Direct. They started it 3 or 4 years ago, and that first one, probably their biggest one in terms of they shadow dropped a game on the same day. So they said they was going to show off whatever games, maybe Starfield, something like that, I can't remember. And then they had a surprise game there called Hi-Fi Rush.
Yeah.
And it was like, and it's out today, and everyone was like, "Oh, okay, that's interesting." And it was made by the developers of Evil Within,
Oh,
a horror
okay.
game. And Hi-Fi Rush is
Yeah.
not horror at all. It's a musical game. You move with the beat, so the music you have to hit as the beat drops in the game. So it's like a
Okay.
rhythm game, but also like combat. I guess rhythm combat. And it did very well. I enjoyed it. Most people enjoyed it. It's some really amazing moments in that game. Actually, I think it's a game that's
Sounds
right
different.
up your street, Stephen.
Yeah,
Um, I'm not a rhythm person, as in like I don't have rhythm, so I found it
yeah.
difficult at times. But there's a particular level of a particular song and a moment. It's just like, oh, this is insane. As in like a
As
song that
someone
we
who,
know in real life. So
yeah,
it is very, very good.
and as someone who loves rhythm, as what we were talking about recently on the most episode of the a movie podcast, yeah, that does sound like right up my tree. I can't believe the developers, the Evil Within, I heard that right, made that
Yeah, I'm
game.
pretty sure it's Evil Within. I'm like 99% sure. And they also, is either Evil Within or Ghostwire Tokyo. But is that the same developer anyway? I think it is.
Isn't it like Bet stuff that begin with letter B? But I swear that developer's name is for Evil Within.
Hi-Fi Rush was
Like,
made by, obviously Bethesda was the publisher. Tango Gameworks.
yeah, no, that is the developers of
And
Evil
Tango
Within.
Gameworks made Evil Within, Evil Within
Yeah,
2, and Ghostwire Tokyo. All horror games.
yeah, yeah. Wow.
That's
And
funny.
this is an Xbox exclusive game. This
It was. It's now on PlayStation. It's everywhere.
I need to.
It's
What was it called again?
Hi-Fi Rush. It's definitely
Hi,
worth it.
hi,
It's definitely worth a go. It might. I don't know. I doubt it's on
I
PlayStation Plus, but
I will definitely look into that.
it's a fun game. It, but that was shadow dropped in one of these developer directs, and then every year since then, it's almost like, are they going to do it again? And I don't think they ever
Do the
have.
same,
Yeah,
yeah.
But they do tend to keep surprise. This year, I can't even remember the name of the surprise this year, um, which is bad of me because I only watched it earlier today. Um, it was the developers of Psychonauts 2. Oh my god, what are they called? I can't believe my mind's going absolutely blank right now. Okay, the game's called Kiln. Double Fine. Double Fine's a studio. Made Psychonauts 2. They also released last year, 2025, the game with the lighthouse. I don't think it's called Lighthouse. Keeper. It's called Keeper. But they announced brand new games. That was like the surprise thing, was that Double Fine have really
yeah.
announced a new game.
Yeah.
And as soon as it started and I saw it was multiplayer, I was like, okay, no, I don't care. Like Double Fine for
Just,
me, when I loved Psychonauts 2, and I want them to make either another Psychonauts 3 or like something similar. Um, the art style in this is amazing. They were very good at their art styles, but I just don't care for multiplayer games like this. It's one of those games which is going to come and go. It will just disappear within weeks or months, and no one's
Mm.
going to care. I could be wrong.
what's it about? What's the game actually about?
I have no idea. I literally zoned out as soon as I saw it as multiplayer. I will do some
Is
digging
it
on it.
multiplayer? Was it like, oh,
Multiplayer, actual combat
okay,
multiplayer, I believe. Yeah.
okay,
But obviously, the main three games that we did know about and did know that were going to be there were Fable, which is big news.
yes,
Forza Horizon 6, again, big news. And a new game from Game Freak, the developers of all the Pokemon games, um, called Beast of Reincarnation. And when I watched it, it sounded and seemed like they were basically saying, look, I promise you, these Pokemon games that we make that you think look ugly and run like crap, it is not our fault because look at this. And this game looks amazing, like graphically and like
Mm.
absolutely
yeah,
insane that it's the same developer. And it's clear that Pokemon Company just say to them, just make it as cheap as possible. We want to make as much money as possible. Like just do whatever you can to make some money. Whereas when they have the time and resources to make what they want to make, it's
yeah,
clear they're
yeah. It's
talented. It's
aggressive.
just that with Pokemon, they're just
I,
told, get it done.
yeah, I don't understand that thinking because, like, I get obviously bigger profit margins and stuff if it's cheaper,
Hmm.
but they potentially might get more people buying it if it looks better.
Yeah.
Like,
And
how much?
Pokemon sells
What
so
would that
much that
difference be?
the profit margin will still be big if you put a couple or another 10, 20 million into
Yeah,
the
yeah,
budget.
Mm.
exactly.
Um, but this game isn't my kind of game. I think it's more like for you, Andy. It's like an action RPG.
So,
Have you seen it? Have
I was
you
gonna
watched
say, it
it?
sounds like it. I haven't. I might have seen clips of it, but from the sounds of the name of it, it sounds a bit like the Diablo type game. Yeah, I don't know
Not
if it is like
Diablo,
that, but
no. It's more. I wouldn't say it is Dark Souls, but when I watch the combat,
okay.
I get the vibes. When you see the enemies in the boss battles, I get those vibes. Or maybe
Oh,
that
okay.
crossed with Monster Hunter, that kind of thing. Um,
Yeah,
you play as what looks to be a woman with a pet or like a this wolf creature as your
yeah,
like companion. From what I saw from the
yeah.
trailer,
That
I
makes sense.
zoned
Like
out
the
when I
name of it.
saw it. It looked a bit like Dark Souls for me. Um, but it looked pretty cool. It looked cool. I wish I liked these kind of games more. Um,
Yeah, we're getting a lot more of this type of game, aren't we, now?
yeah,
So
a lot that's looked the
it's
same,
tricky.
play the
Like,
same. Although I will say this looks
yeah,
like it had its own style in terms of the creatures and the world, and it did look. It looked pleasant. It's just I know it's not for
Mm.
me.
yeah.
But it's worth checking out for you,
It takes
Andy. I
a lot
think
of
it might be
effort to play
decent.
those. Yeah, I just at the moment I'm not really playing those types of games because even when I sort of jumped on Dark Souls 3 the other day, just because I'd been seeing loads of clips on TikTok of it and thought, oh, you know what, I'm feeling the need to play it. Jumped on, done the first boss fight, and then after that, done about another 5 minutes and couldn't be bothered. You need a lot of focus and
Time,
commitment
patience,
to
yeah.
play. Yeah, and I just don't have that at the moment.
That game is launching summer 2026. Going back to the multiplayer one, apparently spring. I'm sure Keeper only come out in like
Okay.
October, so they're just insane over there.
Fast work. Yeah.
Um, but hopefully they're working on something better that I'm more interested in. But the two that we're most interested in and the world are most interested in, Fable and Forza. Let's start with Fable. Did you both get to watch the gameplay?
I've seen
Yeah,
bits of it, yeah. I haven't watched
yeah,
it all through, but then I've seen other information afterwards as well,
Yeah,
being leaked or
I watched
yeah.
it
yeah. I understand.
all on my lunch break today because I was like, I need to know as much as I can about this game. And I was very impressed. Like, I went into this thinking, I'm not, and into this year thinking, okay, Fable's coming, but I'm not that excited about it.
Mm.
I never really played much of the other ones, so that's probably my downfall. I know you did, Andy.
Yeah,
Um,
Yeah,
I haven't really touched Fable either,
no,
but it looks interesting.
it looks really good. Like, I was watching it and I was
it
thinking,
Mm.
it
does.
looks good graphically. The world looks good, and everything they were saying I was like, oh, this could be a really good
Mm.
game. Like, I hope it's not just talk and it actually works when you play it and how it feels in
Yeah,
your
that's
hands and
that's
stuff
the
like that.
thing. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, it's sort of got that Atomfall type style where in certain towns, decisions that you do or like actions that you make impact that sort of city or town in
yeah,
terms of like the way
much
that
more on a
you're.
bigger scale. Like, Atomfall was more
Yeah,
you got different
Niche,
ways
I'd
of
say.
getting to the same or different ending kind of thing.
Yeah.
Whereas this, I agree,
yeah,
it's like if you make a decision in what like one part of the town, people will react to it differently. Like some people will be
Mm.
like, "I like what you did there." Some people don't like what you did there. You
yeah,
can.
yeah,
It's so much detail.
Another.
Like you could buy houses, rent them to
yeah,
people, kick them out,
Yeah.
and then you come across them and they're
yeah,
pissed off with you. It's like that's insane. Like
So
that is
another
yeah.
insane
game for me
detail.
to go completely and utterly roguing in. I like that.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
How difficult can I make the game by the decisions that I make?
but I think it's going to be a fun game to play, not just hitting the story beats and getting to the end of the story, but just to be in that world, which
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
important
All
in this
side
kind of
stuff.
game.
Yeah. Yeah. I think they've said I'm not sure what's from the gameplay and what else has come out afterwards. So if like this might not all be 100% true.
Mhm.
But I saw like a thing saying that you can buy like entire towns and stuff. Um, they said there's about like there's 1,000 different houses, all with like their unique
It's 1,000
settings and
different
like
people as well to talk to,
yeah,
and they all have
all
their own
yeah,
hobbies,
all
all their
unique.
own jobs and stuff.
Yeah. And they said you can get like married and divorced in this
Yeah.
game, so that's like pretty crazy as well. It's
It
like
said you can have
Sims.
multiple wives, like hundreds of children. I was like, whoa,
Yeah,
okay. But
yeah. So it sounds funny
Wild.
from that side of
it's,
things,
yeah,
but it's interesting because I played Fable 3. I haven't played Fable 1 and 2, and they had sort of parts of it you could buy like certain things from what I remember. But they've obviously taken this one to like a much larger scale,
yeah.
and I'm really looking forward to that.
It's obviously a different developer. This is Playground Studios, which, by the way, are also doing Forza. Like, what a year that's going to be for them if
Mm,
they hit both.
Yeah,
Because I think the original developers, Lion something, are no longer around. So obviously, it's Xbox are giving it to Playground. Um,
yeah.
I think for me, this game, one thing I couldn't really fully get to grips with what they showed was how the combat's going to feel to play
yeah,
and like mission structure and like if it like they got to be careful it doesn't get repetitive and if they can nail those things, I think they're onto a winner.
yeah,
But sometimes with these games, they do so much open world stuff. It's all great. All the spying stuff's
Yeah.
great, but then the actual gameplay loop of doing the missions is like if it's just a load of I don't know, go and save him, go and save her, like rescue missions, stuff like that. I don't know. I'm a little bit worried that
yeah.
they're not going to nail that side of things, but I could be completely wrong.
Mm,
The From what I remember, and obviously I know it's new developers now, so that could
Hmm.
easily change. But I remember Fable 3 having a pretty good story to it as well, in terms of sort of I think you was the prince or the king, but you're sort of building your own army and going around recruiting people. And I remember enjoying it at the time. I think either way with this game, from what I've seen of it, sort of reminding me a bit like Hogwarts with sort of the fantasy side of things.
Yeah.
Um, I think I'm going to enjoy this either way, even if it is repetitive. But that's just because I think I'm going to like
I
the
did
world
I
a
did
lot
get
anyway.
Hogsmeade vibes from Hogwarts Legacy. Like when I was watching it, I
Yeah,
was like, this looks a lot like Hogsmeade, like walking around there. Um, has it increased your excitement for it, Stephen? Are you going to be a day one purchaser?
the fact it's
I
coming day one
mean,
as well, by the way, to PlayStation. That's what
yeah,
I was waiting to find out,
Yeah.
and it is. So I'm buzzing for that.
it will be one that I will certainly pick up. I'm not quite sure whether it will be on day one per se. It might be one that if we're going to do a review on, it might tempt me to dip my toe into doing it. But again, because it's that fantasy bit. However, like there are similar things, even though it's more fantasy than something like an Atomfall. But I
Yeah.
am more open-minded to that kind of world because I didn't think I was going to enjoy Atomfall and really, really liked it. So I'm sort of like kind of excited, but it doesn't completely speak to me. It's Forza for me that is the one that
Yeah.
piqued my interest more than Fable. But I will agree with you. There are things there that if it lands, if it hits, it could be a real dark horse for this year.
Yeah. I mean, they said autumn 2026, which knowing where GTA's landing in
Mm,
autumn, November, has to mean it's got to be September, right? I think
yeah.
maybe October early because it's end of November GTA, isn't it?
When's Wolverine coming out? Have we
Again,
got a
it
date for
just
that yet?
says fall, so it's going to be
Okay.
around
I
the
reckon
same time.
maybe
There's going to be a lot of games
I
in that
reckon it
September
Yeah.
time.
I think it might hit potentially sort of around the same time that Spider-Man 2 launched in October.
Like mid
That's what
end
I
of
would be.
October, yeah.
Yeah, because then they've still got basically a month
Yeah.
from their game coming out to then if GTA 6 does launch on
It's
the 19th of
dangerous though, because
November.
I do think at some point this year, previews are going to happen for GTA. And whatever week
Yeah,
that happens, all we're going to be doing is dropping everything we're doing and watching those previews, looking at all the gameplay,
yeah.
and all of a sudden, all
Yeah.
anyone's talking about is GTA. If you
Although
if you happen to drop your game in that week, it's like, ah, shit. All the news,
Yeah.
all the social media stuff,
yeah,
we've lost all of it because GTA's taken
although
it all.
I know we're obviously speaking side about Xbox, but that thing that was shared earlier about potentially GTA 6 being digital only did like burn my soul. Like to withdraw the idea of not having like a midnight release or a physical launch, and the fact that I'd have to buy 2 of them because I just would. I'd get it digitally on day one and then buy the
You've
physical
got to join the
edition.
good
It's
side,
like
Stephen. Join the good
I'm not
side.
joining the good side, and we're not getting into argument about this. But I think, like, obviously it's just a rumor, but I'll be stunned if they actually do that, because that just in
I
my
wouldn't be
mind.
stunned
I wouldn't be
because I think
surprised. I
games
think
are
they're
going
very
away
scared
anyway.
of leaks, aren't they?
Yeah, and also like it makes sense from a financial position as well, because like you say, everyone with GTA, everyone wants to buy it day one. So even if you're a solid disc collector only, GTA drops, you're gonna buy it digital if that's the only way you can buy it. And then when
Yeah.
it drops as a physical version, you're gonna buy that too. So they're basically
Double dipping.
doubling their money on, I don't know what the percentage would be, but double their money on a percentage of what they would make. So
If they
it's
do that,
smart.
fuckers, just fuckers, a lot of them.
Especially if
Anyway,
it's like obviously a higher price game we've been
it's
talking
gonna
about, like
be.
89 pound, whatever. And then you buy two of it.
It'd be worth it though, just to have that in the collect. I want the collector's edition if they do bring one of those, so it could be even more expensive for me. But anyway, I digress. You are absolutely right though. As soon as any sort of further information we got on GTA, every other game is suffering. So
But they
it
can't
is
predict that.
bold.
They have to just go and
No,
hope for the best,
and,
because you can't
and
Yeah.
just wait for GTA preview then
No.
say, okay, we're coming out, because it could be any time.
but at this
Yeah.
point as well, there's no guarantee that we're even getting it in November anyway.
No, true. Very true.
So they kind of have to kind of go ahead with their plans and then just sort of take the pump. I think if you're from like Insomniac's perspective, sort of anywhere from, I don't know, mid-September to the latest mid-October, I don't think they would go any further than that. They're certainly not releasing it in November, I don't think. I don't see that work
Unless
happening.
it was like literally the first few days, but even then it's
Too
not
risky.
really worth it. Yeah,
because
I think
GTA 6 hits in the 3rd week, it's like right bang in the middle. I just don't think any other game company will go anywhere near releasing anything in that period.
I mean, I do think racing games are different. Like Forza could have if they wanted to, but that's obviously coming out in the spring, which we'll get onto in a minute.
But that's also interesting because I feel like every other Forza game has launched in fall. So the fact that they're bringing it out in summer, I was kind of thinking that feels to me a little bit like a direct response to GTA, because I could be wrong, but I feel like every Forza Horizon game has always launched in the later part of the year. All the ones that I picked up have been around the October, November time.
It could just happen to be that they're ready, like it.
Yeah,
it's a long way ahead of GTA.
Yeah.
If this was like August, you'd be like, I wonder if they wanted a few extra months.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting. I think we'll find out in the summer showcase. We'll get another trailer for Fable, and it'd be like,
yeah,
I'm gonna say September. I think September for Fable. Not that they're connected, but Wolverine, I think, will need the extra month and go October.
Yeah.
I think that'll be the same.
That is a mad 3 months of like Fable, Wolverine, GTA 6. Fuck
We're
me.
gonna be busy on these reviews, boys. We're gonna be working.
We're not gonna be doing anything else over that period of time. Let me tell you.
Even the April period, I've been looking. We're gonna be fucking busy. Like the amount of games coming out.
Is it also sort of
the fact so far
that so Forza's dropping in the Xbox in May?
Let's move on to Forza. It's releasing May 19th.
And then is it
Xbox and PC?
Rumors that it's coming to PlayStation later in the year?
It's not a rumor. They said it in the thing. It says, they literally say, for our PlayStation fans, Forza Horizon 6 will release later in the year once the PlayStation version is ready.
Okay.
I kind of call bullshit on that. I think it's ready. It's just Xbox said no, you can give it to them later. It's a weird one. Let's start on this point, because I was having a debate with Jack on Twitch the other night saying, what is their strategy? Is it multi-platform? Is it day one? Is it not? Why have you said, here's Fable and it's all on the same day, and then Forza, but not PlayStation? Like, not yet. It's like, what is your strategy?
It also doesn't make much sense, because like it's the same developer, and the reaction they've had for Forza Horizon 5, it's like it's gone down so brilliantly, and it's been a rip-roaring success. So surely, if I'm like CEO of Playground Games, you'd release that day one. My only thing is it Microsoft, as you rightly said, stepping in going, no? Because at that point, it then becomes literally sort of, not Xbox, PlayStation, we're all together, which we're kind of going down that direction anyway. But Microsoft saying we're doing it too quickly. Do they still want to have that?
But they're doing Fable day one, So
I know, and that's what doesn't make any sense. But that's the only thing in my mind that would be the reason. I call bullshit as well. If they've got the Xbox One ready to go out, the PlayStation one
Yeah,
would be
I mean,
worked at the
unless
same
they're doing
time.
the controller stuff, obviously, but the
It's minimal though, that because they would just take what they put in Forza Horizon 5 and whack it into 6.
true,
They've done all the hard bit.
true. But the one of the arguments is that they want to sell consoles, especially if they're going to do one more console cycle, like go for an Xbox Series, whatever they call it. Or
Okay.
maybe they finally go Xbox 720, which they should have done years ago.
Yeah.
Is that I don't think that's a method for doing that though, because if you're saying, oh, it's only coming out on Xbox, then it is. But if you're saying it's PlayStation in 4-5 months later,
People won't
people
care.
on
Yeah, they'll
PlayStation
wait.
be like, oh, it's annoying.
Yeah.
I'll wait 4 or 5 months rather than
Yeah,
shelling out 400 quid for an Xbox for
yeah.
one
I wouldn't
game.
go out. Yeah, I
It
wouldn't go out and buy a console
maybe if
for
they
that.
said Fable and Forza are 6-month time exclusives, then you're thinking that's 2 games. Okay, then they say Gears E Day, then you're thinking, okay,
Yeah.
these are games that I want day one, so it's worth switching over.
I
But if Gears E Day is also going to be a day one
Day one
PlayStation,
launch.
it's
Yeah,
like just make your
yeah.
fucking mind up.
it's
Unless they are telling the truth and it ain't ready. But I just doubt it.
It's unlikely though, I think, and also there is part of me thinking that even Microsoft don't really know
What they're doing.
what they're doing with this. I also think it's part because it's done really well. The
Yeah.
integrating with PlayStation, I don't think really they
Also gets
maybe
more
anticipated
players
it.
playing.
Yeah, but I don't think
yeah,
they anticipated it working as well as it did generally.
Mhm.
I think there's a level of surprise from Microsoft in going, whoa, okay, this is actually done tremendously well. So I feel like they had like a set specific plan and they're way further ahead now than where they should have been,
Mhm.
maybe. But it still doesn't make any sense why you would do it to Fable and not Forza. But
Yeah,
there has to be a set reason behind why they've
I'd love
chosen
to
that.
ask them and see their reasoning.
Can we get them on the podcast?
I'd love to, but I just don't think I'll agree with any of their reasons. I can't see, and I'm not a business expert. But I can't see the benefit. Yes, they want
No,
Game
I
Pass
yeah.
can't.
subscriptions, and don't get me wrong, they're getting one from me in May. I will buy Game Pass to
Yeah.
play Forza. But what is the benefit of that? If you bought it on PlayStation day one, you got more money
You
from
spend
me
more.
because
Yeah,
I'm not
We're
going to keep Game
I,
Pass all year because they've got the price is
yeah,
too much now.
yeah.
yeah. It doesn't really make sense to me. If anything, I think it would affect their sales more releasing it later on PlayStation because,
Yes, some people
like
won't
for
get
example,
over it.
yeah,
Mm.
like Indiana Jones when that first launched, I was excited by the look of that.
Yeah.
You obviously played on stream Welchy on Xbox. By the time it come to PlayStation, I was like, well, it's not a new game anymore.
Exactly.
Like,
It loses
I don't care.
that hype. It
Yeah, it's one
loses
on the
that
list to play.
newness, doesn't it? It's like
Yeah.
Yeah,
sometimes you want the new shiny thing. Yes, it's
yeah,
new
yeah,
and shiny for PlayStation,
Mm.
and they've got to be careful. If it's a few months, then they
I
might be able to survive it. But
mm.
if it's too long, it's like okay, especially with GTA around the corner, they've got to be so
yeah,
careful.
yeah.
The only counter argument for that is that with I don't think it matters too much with Forza. With Fable, yes, because Forza is sort of one of those games that there's so much to do. There's not really a story to it. It's just in a different location.
And it's got
So
such a
like
pedigree in racing games. Racing fans just
yeah,
love racing games. I
like
agree with the Fable comment because the risk with Fable, and maybe this is
yeah,
why they're doing it, is we all think it looks good. But if it reviews
yeah,
70s, people are like, oh, actually,
Yeah,
no, fuck
yeah.
that. And then all of a sudden
It,
they've lost all the PlayStation people. But if you've already pre ordered it,
yeah, yeah,
you kind of just go with
yeah.
it.
And increasing that hype. If people on Xbox going, "Oh, Fable's incredible," it will just bring up that
Yeah.
anxiety for PlayStation players to get onto it. I think with Forza as well. Like I picked up Forza Horizon 5 at Christmas. I've still got so much of that to do. Where by the time Forza Horizon 6 comes out, you kind of still will be Forza Horizon 5 will be alive and kicking because it just is one of those games that even though it has a conclusion, there's still so much to sort of explore. It's not one of those games that you run out of things to do. There's always something at
But you'd
every
rather
single
be in
point.
Japan.
You would be, yeah, but what I mean is like something like Fable, like a story-driven game where there is more of a need. There isn't a necessity really for us to get our hands on it day one, maybe over other games potentially. But I still don't agree with that aspect. But I
No.
don't think like I'm not going to be sitting there going, oh man, I really wish I'd got Forza Horizon 6 on day one. Like, and I love the Forza
Yeah.
Horizon
No,
games,
I agree with that.
but I don't think it's one that I'm going to be sitting there like spewing in my grave like because of how angry I am that I haven't got it on
Yeah.
day one.
I agree.
yeah.
But did you two get to see the actual gameplay? We're going on to the actual game now. Do you
Yeah,
watch the Forza stuff?
Yeah, it looks
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah. I mean, again, I don't ever get really blown away by it because, again, I just know what
Looks more
I'm
like Forza, doesn't it?
expecting.
Yeah.
And sort of the location's great.
Mhm.
I was speaking to my our friend James about this, and he said that he thought the trailer was good, but it didn't kind of like blow him away
Mhm.
as much as what he wanted it to. And I think maybe because the trailer didn't really show off sort of the ins and outs of like
Yep.
where it focused more on the main aspects of driving around Japan, where you've got so many like the mountains, the hills. And I did reassure, I was like, that's definitely in there. But obviously they're not gonna have their cake and eat all of it and show you all different aspects of it. But again, try and test it. Like there's nothing there that I was like, oh, that
One
doesn't look
thing
great.
I like that they said was that in this one, because in number 5, you just go in and you're already in the festival, you're already a
Yes.
superstar. In
Yeah.
this one, you have to work your way into it. So you're starting off as like a rookie, like in you're doing sports games and stuff like that. And I like that
Yeah,
idea. I like the idea
Yeah.
of working your way into the Horizon
Yeah.
Festival
They've
and
up the
becoming
ranks.
great rather
Yeah,
than being
yeah.
great from day one.
They've gone back to what they did at the original Forza
Yeah.
Horizon game, where you started to go, you got an opportunity to go into the festival, and then Darius Flint was the one that was the big star, and the game worked up to that point where you then raced him in the final mission and you beat him, and then you become the new Darius Flint. So I feel like they're kind of going back to their roots in that rising star feeling.
Hmm.
That's also a really, really good point. But yeah, I'm the only thing I would say is Forza Horizon 5 on PlayStation is so. When I started playing, I was like, I can't believe this is working on PlayStation. Like, it just took my breath away. Are they going to be able to do that again with number 6? Because at this point now, we know that I mean, obviously, I'm talking out from a PlayStation perspective, but still, like, from the Xbox, I don't know if Forza can still do the whole blowing their fans away. I feel like we're just at a point now where they're amazing games. You know what to expect.
It's more of the same.
And yeah, basically. It'd
Yeah.
be cool if they can do something that makes you go, whoa, that is like that breathtaking thing, which be annoying because Andy's picked it. But like that could push the rating higher if they do something, if they reinvent the wheel. That's not a pun. It might be a pun actually.
That's a good
But
pun.
if they, yeah, if they do something which we hadn't expected, and some of the Forza Horizon games, like when we brought in the stunts and like the Mad Max aspect and sort of how they were able to push things further, we've not had that for the last couple of Forza Horizon games. So maybe there might be something else, and maybe that's also why they wanted to spend a little bit of time. Are they adding something new for the PlayStation aspect of
No,
the game?
they
Is
won't do
something
it
not
for
there?
any, like, they won't give extra stuff to PlayStation.
No, I mean like that they've got it on Xbox, but they need a bit more time to polish it for PlayStation.
Oh, maybe what
Maybe
some new system, new
like
mechanic,
new
whatever. Yeah, yeah.
reinvention to try and push it further
Maybe it's
potentially.
crossplay. Is crossplay on Forza Horizon 5?
I have no idea
Yeah, I
about
don't
that.
know. That would
I
be
know there's
again.
online.
Yeah, it's
Although you
online, but
saying
I
that
don't know if you've
when
got a
you're
cross.
because obviously you link your Microsoft account, so a lot of my old Xbox friends are like allies in the actual
So it's same as
like
Gears, yeah.
world. So I imagine the answer to that is yes, but
And they
don't
could
quote me
easily
on that.
get the Gears people to help them out on that because Gears nailed
Yeah.
it.
yeah.
Cool. Any final comments on either Fable or Forza before we move on?
No, definitely getting Fable day one. Obviously, Forza, if that launches near GTA time,
Yeah,
then
then no.
it'll get pushed out the window.
I
Yeah, so
and
they got to be
I
safe.
will say I probably will get Fable Day One, but purely because it'd be nice to all play it and review it, even though that it wouldn't be my usual choice, unless like I might like leave it maybe a couple of days and see what you guys say. Because if you say it's a pile of absolute shite, then no. But it's like that I'll get it around the time that it comes out.
Yeah, at the moment, I've changed the gaming schedule for the podcast. And I will hopefully be reviewing Forza Horizon 6 around the 8th of June. But honestly, around that
Cool,
time,
cool, cool.
I've got Invincible to review, the game,
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Pragmata, Tharos, and
Fuck me.
007. That's 5 games of
Yeah,
Forza. It's
that is
insane.
mental.
I don't know how I'm going to do it. I don't think I'm going to be able to do it, to be honest. I'm going to have to drop one of them.
No,
But,
we can give it a good go.
we'll give it, I guess, best go. Okay, that has been the Xbox Showcase. We're going to take a quick break and then come back and talk about what we've been playing. Welcome back to the Late Night Gamer podcast. We have just been talking about the Xbox Developer Direct and Fable and Forza Horizon 6, but now we're going to talk about what we've been playing. We're going to start with Stephen because obviously Stephen for a lot of the time last year. You said you was going to play Life is Strange in January. You've started that journey. You have finished the first
Yes.
one.
Yeah.
Let's hear your review of it.
Yeah. So I can now sort of go into my full thoughts about it. I will not be providing any spoilers, not just
Thank
because
you.
I know you are wanting to play it at some point, Welchy, but to anyone out there that hasn't, I want people to go into it and get the full benefits of the twists and turns. So I've carefully devised my review to not go into spoilers, because I know that in the last few weeks I've kind of just skimmed the surface of little bits and pieces. But yeah, I've done now all 5 episodes. So next for me will be Life is Strange Before the Storm, which is like the prequel that sits between 1 and 2. And our friend James also told me of that there's this like game called The Adventures of Captain Spirit, which kind of like is this sort of mini game demo that sits just before number 2. So I've downloaded it for free. He says play that, but then that game becomes much more logical, makes a lot more sense when you get into Life is Strange 2. So I basically just want to have the whole shebang experience of every single game. And the reason why I want to do that is because Life is Strange 1 is one of the best games that I've ever played, generally. What an experience this game is on so many different levels. And when it started, I kind of think I've already kind of skimmed the surface of this, but there's a sequence where Max puts on her headphones and starts listening to music as she's walking down the school, and the song plays out in the background. It's like kind of, I don't know, half an hour into the game. And I remember like pausing it going, yeah, this is my kind of game. I'm going to fucking love this. I just got that vibe like instantly. And I took every single part of this game in terms of, so there's lots of diary extracts. You get lots of optional photos to take throughout the game. I did platinum this game, so this is my 5th platinum. It is a piss easy platinum, really. A lot of it was some of the optional photos I found, and then I did have sort of like a text guide that kind of just pointed me in the right direction, because there was a couple of ones where I don't know how you would have known how to get those optional photos unless you kind of knew where you were looking. It is cool. They've got like a collectible mode. So like what you can do is you can go back to individual parts of the chapters of each episode just for getting any collectibles that you missed. I got all of them as I went through. I wanted to kind of do it as I went along rather than like then going back and re-getting the optional photos. And that worked until the very last episode, where there was one that I missed out on, and it was that sequence that was really driving me up the wall. So of course it is. The sequence that you like the least is the one where I actually missed one of the optional photographs to get. The immersion and emotional punch this game brings is absolutely insane. I've always loved games where every decision you make has a consequence. Again, the game that I hold that in esteem of is like the Telltale Walking Dead video game series.
Mm-hmm.
And I never thought I'd play a game that would actually eclipse what the Telltale Walking Dead game did, and Life is Strange absolutely does. And that is absolutely high praise, because I never thought a game would push that even further. And I think maybe because in Life is Strange, whereas like in The Walking Dead, you've got the point and click feature.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of it is just bits of dialogue, and the choices you make are based on that, which is still really immersive and fantastic. But in Life is Strange, you're playing as Max. It's not a point and click game. You know, you're exploring lots of different areas. Obviously you are quite restricted in what you can do, but you get more freedom than you would in The Walking Dead. And just the level of emotions in this, because like in the game, Max basically has an ability to like reverse time. So a lot of the time in the game, when you would say or do something, or you would interact with a character that didn't go the way that you wanted to, so many times I was like, nope, I'm reversing time. Fuck that. But then you would then replay that sequence again, and then I would still be unhappy. So I would then reverse again and then go back to my first decision. And I just love it. It was constantly one of those games that kept me all of the time guessing and going, is this the right decision? Is this not the right decision? And what was really interesting is once I had finished the game, there's something that happens in episode 2 that is quite a big moment. And I found out that actually that can play out in a different way. I was speaking to Andy about this, and I said to her, I was like, I don't quite know how that certain bit plays out, because like I don't really know what you're meant to say. Or I think it goes down to there's a certain specific choice that you make with this set character that I feel like if you did it in a different way, you get that outcome, because I did feel quite powerless in that moment. but equally, I feel like when that thing happens, it kind of improves the story. So it's one of those games where I was constantly thinking, and it was making me really, really ponder. There is obviously an emotional line throughout the game regarding losing a parent, which is why I held fire on playing this, because of losing my father a few years ago. When we get to the moment where that forefront bit of the game happens, and I'm treading water when I say this, but there's a sequence that heavily relies on that. It really, really touched me. It didn't actually make me cry, which I don't know whether maybe because personally you're further forward, or I'm so immersed in that game that was more of my focus. But my heart went out for a specific character. It just puts you in an impossible situation. There's also a specific dialogue moment between Max and this set character that I literally just went, oh, fuck. Just one line that like made me, even now thinking about it, I feel like I'm getting more emotional now talking about it than actually when I was playing the game. But recording that moment, I was like, wow. And then that's in episode 3. And then when episode 3 ends, it ends on just, I can't believe what's just happened. And then episode 4 pushes you even further, because obviously the message of it is that things happen for a reason. And by messing up time and events has big consequences. And the game perfectly demonstrates those consequences and makes you, you're not just doing things. By halfway through the game, I don't know if you had the same thing, Andy, I was so consciously thinking all the time about my decisions, and I was really, really worried about making the wrong decision, which it had really kind of engrossed me to that sort of level. It always made me like keep guessing. It kept me on my toes. There's also a twist in the last episode, which I wish I saw, right? Because I spoke to my friend James about it and he didn't know. And when I was speaking to Andy about it, he picked up this twist early on. And I was like, it's so glaringly obvious, and it really wound me up that I didn't see it. I did not see it. My jaw was on the floor when that plot reveal happens. And then Welchy, actually, in the last episode, it becomes kind of like a bit of a horror game. There's something that happens in episode 5 that, like, I've played horror games that haven't put me on edge and made me feel uncomfortable and creeped out. They really play it well. The character that I'm referring to is so creepy and just makes your tails curl. And I don't know whether, again, because I'm so immersed in the story, that it really got me, where sometimes other horror games I'm not as emotionally invested, but obviously you still praise, like something like an Outlast. I'm not emotionally invested in Outlast, but it's generally terrifying.
Yeah.
Where I'm emotionally invested in this, and that's why the creepy moment of it just like was insanely creepy. And yeah, I mean, all in all, it is one of the best games I've ever played. I really want you to play this, Welchy, so we can have a full spoiler conversation, because like that is kind of a detailed spoiler-free version.
Yeah.
I haven't even touched the surface on all of
Story
the big
points,
moments.
plot
Obviously,
points,
me and Andy had a really good chat on the way when we went to see our 2 films on like Friday, and it's just great. It's one of those games that when you kind of start speaking about it with somebody, I'd feel like there's not a single person out there that would play this game and not enjoy it. And if there is, like, I need to know why you wouldn't enjoy this game, because there's not a single aspect of this. There, as I said, in episode 5, there is a specific sequence that was winding me up, only because the characters kept repeating the same bits of dialogue over and over again, and because I was trying to find this last optional photo, I had to kind of keep going to places where if you were just playing it normally, you wouldn't have to have that repetition keep happening to you. And what was funny is I did all of that and I still didn't find the option photograph, because I got past that sequence and then it cuts to like the last bit of the game. And I was thinking, hang on a minute, right? The game's wrapping up here. There's not gonna be a photograph here. And I went, oh no, I've got to go back to the bit where I am. Fuck's sake. So, but I did that sort of the night before I actually finished it, to then finish off that last bit. I'm stunned to sort of find out how the sequels, because that sets such a high benchmark. But I've equally had the other games are great. It was also because obviously they've really announced recently that Life is Strange is coming in March. It's the last one, isn't it, that they're doing?
Yeah, reunion. Yeah. It's the conclusion of the Max and Chloe stories.
Yeah. So There is a bit, and again, this isn't really spoiler because again, it's if you go on Life is Strange Reunion, you can see that Chloe and Max are there. But I'm playing Life is Strange 1, and there's something that happens where I go, I don't get this. How the fuck is this worked? There's something that happens in Life is Strange 1, which I think would maybe have hit more if I hadn't known that a certain character's returning in Reunion. But there's still so many unanswered questions. And I was quite fortunate that I've not seen any big spoilers for any of the future games. Like I think these games, you just go into them not knowing very much, and just the story takes you away. But just yeah, I can't believe it's taken me this long to get around to playing it. But I just is such a great experience. And as I said, I thought it was going to be really difficult. So I was quite proud that I was able to navigate that, because I think if I'd played that maybe a year ago or a couple of years ago, there would have been no way. Yeah, there was no way that I would have got through that episode 3. Which is just crazy how and this is like with life of anything, you don't even realize how further forward you are when you're going through different life changes. And the game kind of made me think of not just that, but it kind of took me back to like school, of like how important it is when kids are horrible to each other, that devastating effect that it has. And Life is Strange does a brilliant job of you really resonating with those set characters. But yeah, it is an absolute masterpiece of a video game.
Masterpiece as in 10 out of 10?
This is a 10 out of 10 game without any shadow of doubt.
Your fourth of the podcast.
Yeah.
Damn, only Andy's given more.
Oh, really?
Give more 10 out. So what are my 4 10 out of 10s that I've done on this podcast?
Horizon Zero Dawn, Split Fiction, Ghost of Yotei, and this one.
Astrobot?
You didn't do that on the podcast.
Oh, I didn't. Oh, because we spoke about it, gave it. That would have been a 10 out of 10 as well. Oh, yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Yeah.
Andy's kind of cheated. He's got God of War, which is obvious. God of War Ragnarok, which is obvious.
Yeah.
Expedition 33, Split Fiction, and Dispatch.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Wait, did you give Last of Us Part 1 a 10?
No, you gave it a 9.
Oh,
9, yeah.
Andy, I forgot about that.
Am I right in saying that it's a new developer on Life is Strange? It's not the same people. If they wasn't day one, right? I'm sure it moved company.
No,
it's developed by Square Enix in like the first one.
That's the publisher.
A publisher. Who's the developer?
I'm gonna Google it. I'm sure Life is Strange moved company.
I remember talking about it. So obviously Lost Records was.
That's what I was gonna. So Life is Strange. The people. Nod, which is Lost Records. What's the most recent game called? True Colors.
Double Exposure.
Double Exposure.
Yeah.
It's Deck 9. They're developed by Deck 9, so it's a different developer. Same publisher, just different developer.
Because that's why we thought Lost Records was going to be good, because Don't Nod took over.
Then they fucked it up.
Yeah, pretty much.
I always get confused between the publisher and the developer. I always do that in a weird way, because like Square Enix published Hitman games, but that's IO
Interactive.
Yeah, so there's too many of them. But yeah, like the thing with like Lost Records is interesting, because obviously like you two, Alfred James, like have all slated it, but then critically it does really well. So like he was saying, he can't wait for me to get onto Lost Records to see if I'm of the same voice or if I take more to it. But
once you play Life is Strange, it's you compare it too much to that, it drops its standards so much. Like
every positive thing you just said about that game, was not in Life is Strange. Sorry, was not in
Lost Records.
Lost Records.
And I think that's because they put too many characters into Lost Records. Whereas Life is Strange 1, Life is Strange 2, I haven't completed that, but they focus on 1, 2 characters.
Yeah.
And they're able to build that emotional punch with them throughout the game. And Lost Records, I think, just
so
the gameplay is
boring.
Yeah. Anyway, I think they tried to make it too mysterious and stuff. Yeah. It's not another hate episode.
Yeah, let's not.
It took me 21 hours to get through the story. I mean, that is a caveat to it. I had it paused when I had to do a couple of errands. And obviously that takes it into account if you leave it.
Not gonna lie, 21 hours puts me off massively.
But I did everything.
They stay around 3 to 4 hours for each episode, and there's 5 episodes.
Okay.
So about 12 to 15 hours if you were just focusing on sort of the main sort of story. Because remember, I think there was 50 optional photos that you get for the platinum. So I did all of that. I read all of the diary extracts. I interacted with every single character. So there's lots of
Yeah,
optional bits of dialogue that you can have. Like, so I did every frame of it. So that probably added a number of additional hours on. But if you were just
I'm just
focusing
gonna
on the,
check my time because I didn't. I just played through the story and done which
yeah, so you'll be
optional.
able to see a difference in terms of how long it took you to
Andy's just
ride
gone
What's
someone through.
my?
into a cave right now.
Yeah,
You can't
I
see him.
used obviously my screen for YouTube to get the white screen, but Life is Strange, 17 hours it took me.
Okay, that's not
So I
too
spent
bad.
probably about 2 to 3 hours doing all the additional extra stuff to then get the platinum.
I tell you,
But
if last record was 17 hours, I wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't have been able to do
honestly though, Welchy, like it flew. That
it.
time literally, like I didn't want some of the episodes to end. And sort of episode one, I was like thinking, okay, this is really good. But every episode just got better and better and better to a point I was like, this is fucking unreal. I think like my favorite episode probably was, weirdly, even though because it touched me the most, was sort of the end of episode 3 and the whole of the first half of episode 4, because I can't quite believe what that game put me through. And it's still kind of, I'm left speechless in terms of that. It took me down a different road that I didn't even think. I thought there was going to be maybe like a flashback to something, but how the game turns that on its head and shows you the consequence, I was like, oh my God. In our group chat, I literally put, just finished episode 3. What the actual fuck? Like, couldn't quite believe what I'd seen.
There you
Yeah.
go. We look forward to your further Life is Strange adventure. Andy, you've been playing Outlast Trials?
Yes, so my friend has been playing it and played a little bit with them. And then obviously Stephen and Rosie came around on Saturday, had a bit of gaming night and loaded up Outlast Trials. I let Stephen do the tutorial and one of the first trials. And then tonight I done sort of completed my first trial with a friend as well. Yeah,
So that's
it's
sorry, as a side note, that's a nice way of putting it. He literally loaded up Outlast Trials and went, here you go, Stephen, off you go. I was like, okay. And then the funny thing is, I've done 2 of the trials, and now I'm like, fuck. When I
well,
play
you've done
Outlast
the
Trials,
first bit's the tutorial, the second one was a
Torah, but
trial.
I've done
Yeah.
the trial. I'm like, I've got to redo that fucking trial. That trial put me through intense pressure as well, and I've got to do it on my own account now. But yeah, it was that was a lot of fun. Before Andy goes into what he's saying, I really enjoyed the first bit of Outlast Trials. There's a lot of trials that we realise that have to be done. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's good.
I'm not sure when this game actually originally launched because we was looking for it and looking at the trials and seeing how many there was, and we counted like 47 trials. But I think it's had like season passes because it said
Yeah,
like
Yeah.
2023
yeah.
season 1, season 2, season 3, season 4.
I
So
think
they've
it came
obviously
out.
kept updating it.
I think it came out like maybe May of 2023, around about that time. I think it was a summer game of a couple of years ago.
Yeah, potentially. So it's good that they're still obviously adding stuff to it. Um, it's a 4-player co-op game, or you can play it solo if you want to, or 2 players. How many people you want to play it with is up to you, but up to 4 players. And I really like the concept of that. I didn't know when I first originally saw Outlast Trials, I just thought it was like one of the other Outlast games, which I haven't
Yeah.
played, but I know they're just sort of story-driven
Yeah.
games. I'm pretty sure you just play by yourself, don't you?
Yeah.
So when I saw this, I was more intrigued by it because I was like, okay, I can play. I obviously don't like horror games in terms of sort of playing through them because they scare the shit out of me. So when there's a horror game where I can play it co-op with friends, that's a lot more entertaining for me. Even though tonight when I was doing the trial, it was still scary and you're getting chased by things and you're having to hide. And if you get affected by the gas, you're seeing things that aren't actually there and they're like jumping out at you. Like one of them looks like Mike Myers and Michael Myers, he just comes out of the floor and runs at you. And I'm like, fuck, but it's not actually real. And then it will also sort of make a doppelganger of players that you're playing with. So you think you can see with the name that it's slightly different, but in sort of those moments where you don't have time to sort of react to the name, you think it's your own teammate coming towards you, and all of a sudden they're attacking you because it isn't. It's like an illusion, and it's like, oh fuck. So there's a lot of cool, fun aspects to this. I've already recorded a couple of clips of me playing where I did sort of jump and shit myself because of those moments. I haven't done any sort of. The first trial that I've completed is it's called like Find the Orphans or something. So there's a lot of like messed up, fucked up shit as well. It's got gore in there. I think the
Outlast. What do you expect?
yeah, in the introduction tutorial bit that Stephen was doing, there's literally like a meat grinder, and you see this fucked up lady throw a person into it, and so that's sort of the level there is, and a lot of sexual stuff with like mannequins and other bits as well. So it's definitely fucked up in that sense.
Do you know what was really funny? So the trial that I did was one where I basically there's this you're in a prison block essentially, and there's this guy that is like your what do they call him? Like the snitch, isn't it? Yeah, that was it.
Yeah,
So you've got this snitch, and you've got to basically move him from one aspect of the prison to the other bit when you then basically electrocute him. And then
he's
I'm
on
in
the
this
chair
one.
already on like a
Yeah,
electric rail, so you can only push him when the electric's on. So the whole point of the trial is the electric cuts off, and you got to go find the
yeah.
generators to restart it to be able to push him through the cells.
Which sounds piece of piss, you'd think, nice and easy. But there's this guy who I can only describe as like electric wanker is kind of the name that I had in my mind. Because I'm telling you now, so there's a bit where you've got to turn on the generator, and it's got like the little line that's got to go with like in the green. And then every time you do it, it was getting faster and faster and faster. But the amount of times that I would then look up and he would be there, I mean, I didn't die in my trial. That was through more luck than judgment than anything, because there
He,
was so many times
yeah,
I got to like the
it,
brink.
it was the definition of if you're playing a multiplayer game in a team, you're showing he's on 1 HP, he's on 1 HP. He was
Yeah,
literally on 1 HP. Like
I
if he
was on
took
one
another,
HP.
you throw a rock at him, he would die. Like I don't
Yeah,
know how he
it,
survived at one
it
point.
was real well, pure skill, mate. But it was also funny. Like in horror games, I had this thing where, like, if I'm walking through a room, I have to shut the door. Like I've learned from the first two Outlast games, do not leave any doors
Yeah.
open. But it was making like Andy and our friend Jane like laughing because they were like, "Why do you keep shutting the door?" And there was one bit where I did that, but then I locked myself in with one of the
Yeah,
guys.
if you was watching him, Welchy, you'd be thinking, why the fuck are you shutting the door? You've just seen where like the main enemy's gone, and Steven's then gone in that room after him, and he shut the door behind him. So then, if that enemy is like there or turns around,
Yeah.
he then has to open the door back
To
up
get
to
out.
run back out there. And it's like, why would you shut the door? Like you might need a
Called,
quick escape at that point.
called double crossing, playing with his
No,
mind, you know.
you just don't listen. There's like there's another part as well where some of the enemies will they'll hide themselves in the locker. So if you go to hide in that locker, they then jump out on you.
Yeah.
And we knew where one of them was. So we told Stephen, there's don't make sure you don't go in that locker, otherwise you'll get attacked. What does he do? He
I
goes to
panicked.
hide in the exact same locker that we told him
Yeah,
to avoid. And of course that's when he almost dies. It's
I
like
was
it's
panicked
entertaining though, it's funny.
at that point, Welchy, I'm panicking, right? Because I'm trying to like run, and then I go in, and then as soon as in my brain I went, oh shit, yeah, that's the one that he's gonna open. But I reckon like when you do it on a co-op spec, like I need to jump on like with you guys at some point, because I haven't done it on a co-op aspect yet. But I do feel like it's one of those games where like in the co-op sense, it's a lot of fun. Is it? I'm assuming, stupid question, but I'm gonna ask it anyway. In the co-op sense, did you find it easier? Because like mine was a struggle at
Not
times, only because it was just me on my own
It
having to
wasn't easier
navigate it through.
because on the trial that you done, there was only that one main cop guy with the electric dick,
Yeah,
whatever. When I was doing
electric
it co-op,
wanker.
just two people, there was three, maybe four enemies. So you're having to navigate around a lot more. Whereas if you was doing that
It probably
trial
ramps up with the
solo,
more people you got. Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
so it
So
actually
obviously,
increases the level of enemies the more people you've
yeah.
got in the trial.
I can't say for sure because I've only done that one
Yeah.
trial. I don't know if I went on that trial solo, whether all those enemies will still be there, but I'm assuming that it gets harder with more players. And
Okay,
that's a
interesting.
more logical way to do things.
The only reason I say that is that there's sometimes games where like in co-op it is easier, but like I think Terrify Arcade game I know is completely separate, but that's a game where the more people you have, the easier it is because the enemies are the same whether it's one player or whether
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
four. So it feels like they've gone the opposite, which I always agree with. If there's one of me, there needs to be one enemy, not fucking 5 or 6 of them.
That was
So
the
that's
Black Ops 7
yeah.
problem, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The thing I like about this as well is you actually have like a loadout style set up as well. You don't obviously have
I was gonna
weapons.
say,
The
yeah,
only thing that the only thing you can do is in when you're in the trials, sometimes there's like glass bottles or bricks that you can pick up, and that's the only
to
way that you
distract
can
people.
sort of you can either throw them at them to stun them for like a second and
Okay,
try and run away, or yeah,
Yeah.
use it because there's like broken glass on the floor. So if you go over that,
they hear
or
it.
you hit like
Yeah,
the tins, they if they're close enough, they'll hear it.
yeah.
So you can throw
Is
things to
this the same
either
developer,
stun them.
Red Barrel?
I
Steven,
believe
over to you.
so. I'm not 100% sure. I mean, I'll be honest. When I found out that Outlast Trials was completely different to the first two, originally I was like, I don't really like that because Outlast works so well as this immersive survival horror
Yeah,
game. But actually playing it at the weekend, I was like, no, this is actually sick. So there's another bit where you can customize like your actual sort of house area, like your quarters that you sort of at the end of every trial you go back. And I was customizing Ad's one, which I'm assuming he's changed now because I put like
Haven't
four.
actually changed it yet.
Oh, okay. So like you could pick sort of one like clown photo, but then on every single wall you can have the same photo. So I just put four clowns on there, and I made the room as fucked up as possible and as scary as possible. And then I added like a bowling ball and a bowling pin, so if Andy turns to like the midpoint, he sees lovely bowling. But if he then turns behind him, he's got like red walls, four clown pictures, and I quite like that as well. It is one of those
Yeah.
games that I feel like could have easily been fucked up because of they've got two games that I tried and tested as one of the
hmm
very best survival horror games. But obviously, I've not done all of the trials, and I will. But it piqued my interest early on. I mean, we stopped playing it about what was it, 2:30? We started at like midnight, and like two
Yeah,
and a
it's
half
like
hours. I was immersed in sort of this, and at moments it was nerve inducing, put it that way.
yeah,
Interesting.
yes. I think you unlock like the ability to buy more stuff for your room as well. Like you unlock it, you get tickets at the end of the game that you can use to upgrade your perks and stuff. So at the moment, I chose the health perk. So it just gives you like an extra
Well,
slot in your infantry, and then you can upgrade that as well to like when you use it, you get more health from it, or you can heal allies or different things like that. But there's different perks that you can use. So there's one that's called stunned. I think when you upgrade that to a certain level, you can then use that and it will stun enemies that are near you, different things like that. You also have like night vision and stuff, and you have to make sure you're picking up batteries and recharging that when you're in the trials, just because
oh,
there are if you're running through dark areas and you lose your night vision, it's like you won't see shit. And then if you've got enemies after you, it's like yeah, it's
you know,
crazy.
the first Outlast Welchy where there was moment times where it tell you out of 10 batteries that you have, and there was so many moments in that game where I was like living on like three or two batteries.
Yeah,
There was a thing in my trial where I just was like, right, I'm picking up loads of these collectibles, give me a battery, and I was starting to get pissed off because I was like, why am I not getting anything for my night vision? I can't. The only time I saw was when Electric Wanker decided to come into the room with me, and his electricity light up, and when I see that, I was like, oh shit, that's not good. It always makes me laugh at Outlast though, and I know it's like the thing that you can't fight back, but some of the enemies, they're like free stone, and I feel like just anyone could just push them over. And I always laugh at that. There's some things in like Outlast 2, I'm like, just use your camera, hit him over the head. But no, you
Yeah.
don't get any of that ability in the Outlast games to fight your way out of trouble.
No, and you've got a range of different enemies. So you've got ones that can't see in the dark, so you can like just crouch down and they'll like walk past you if you're in the dark
Yeah.
yeah.
areas. And then ones that obviously will see you. So I like quite you can sort of play it tactically as well if you know what enemies do what. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun so far. It'll be a fun game to jump on and play co-op at some point. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds
you
It's
should have
interesting. Better than I expected because I loved the first two, but wasn't interested in a multiplayer
yeah,
version. But it sounds decent.
yeah.
it
And
does.
it's got like
And
a little a social hub bit as well. So when you load into the game, you go into like where your quarters bedroom is, and then it's got like a social hub bit, so
yeah.
you'll see other players there. So if you're by yourself and you wanted to play with other players, you
Still
can
have
then
people there.
search with other players
hmm
and like sort of fill your squad up, or you can go in solo or
I,
play with friends. So
I
you
feel
got
like you enjoy it,
options.
Roger, because we were pretty much aligned with that. And
hmm
as somebody who absolutely loves horror, like if I had any reservation or issue with it, I would be saying it. But no, I think like if we all jumped on as a co-op, I think it would be a really like fun stream
Yeah,
to do at some point.
interesting.
For sure.
Cool. Well, I might jump on that at some point. We need to wrap up, but before we do, just a quick update from my side. I have decided to no longer play Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora.
Oh,
Yeah,
Dun,
and
dun,
it's
what was
dun.
what was the reason?
nothing particularly against the game. It looks beautiful. It plays okay. I just don't think it's the most fun game in the world. And the way I play games currently, just because of my life and everything and this podcast, is I often play in very small chunks and often have quite long breaks. So I think the last time I
Yeah,
played it was Saturday. Then I went to try and play it again this Friday. So that's like 6 days without it. And I was playing it, I was like, I don't really care what's going on. The story's not grabbing me. Yes, it looks good, and I love flying on the Ikran. And now I've got the ability to ride the, I can't remember what they were called, but just call them their version of horses. Um,
yeah,
and that's all great, but the combat's not that interesting to me. It's not that good, and the story's not grabbing me. I don't really care for all these different clans I'm going to see, and I was just like, why am I playing this? Like,
yeah.
why am I wasting my time, my valuable time playing games on something I'm not
Yeah.
really invested in? Um,
No.
it's frustrating because I paid money for this. It wasn't a free game. I paid
Yeah.
money for it. It was on sale, so it's heavily discounted. Um, that's not to say I won't come back to it at some point. Maybe I get that itch again. Maybe when the next Avatar film comes out, I'm like, oh yeah, I've got the itch again. I'll go.
Basically, an avatar to
Yeah,
release
yeah.
for you to then go back onto the game.
But I
They
was
got two more
just,
films.
I was just so over it. I was just sitting there the whole stream. I was like, guys, why the fuck
Yeah.
am I? What am I doing?
Yeah.
What am I doing right
I think
now?
you sat there for like another hour then.
And I think that was the night I went off and started playing Astrobot.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
So hang on, I have Avatar to blame them for that. Fuck you, Avatar.
Essentially, yes, but I just think it's just not. I've realized I'm not really a massive open world gamer, and that is technically wrong because I love Ghost of Yotei and I love the
Yeah,
Horizon games, but I'm not a good big
It-
fan of Ubisoft.
yeah.
I hated Assassin's Creed Shadows. This is better than Assassin's Creed Shadows by a long shot, but it's still just not grabbing me. And I think if Ubisoft, any announcement they make, I'm like, good for all of you that like those games.
Yeah.
Far Cry 7 or whatever it's going to be next,
Yeah.
whatever next Division game, whatever. I'm just like, I just don't. Actually, Division might be the one that might be for me, but the rest of them, I'm like, they're
My
all the same. I am just not into them.
very very quickly, because I absolutely understand that, like, your thoughts behind it, because my reservation, and again from speaking to my friend James, is that you've basically got to upgrade so much to be able to finish the story.
It's quite
and
complicated.
and I know that I want to do it, but A, I need to devote a considerable chunk of time. But B, if I would start to get annoyed with it, I'd have the same problem, because I with the Horizon games, there's so much to do, but you can experience the story and enjoy it. You know, you can upgrade things as you go along. There were certain side bits that I did, but it's not a necessity. Like Ghost of Yotei, you don't have to do that. But it feels like with Avatar, the vibe that I get is that you do have to do that.
You do.
And I don't like that notion of a game forcing me, particularly if I'm not grabbed by the story or the gameplay. So I share it. I might start doing it and absolutely love it. But I've had like two very different reviews, one from our friend James and then from you, and I don't know where I'm gonna sort of fit when I attempt it.
I'm a
But that's
very
why I
different
haven't
case
done it
though,
yet.
because my time is much more limited. I get
No, that's true.
5-6 hours a week, and they're in 1.5 hour chunks. Um, and I think if I had all the time in the world and I could sit down with this game and invest in it, I think it would be a good game. If I had to give it a
Yeah,
score from my 8 hours, which don't, this is not a full score, the feeling I get from this game is it's a 6, which is a
yeah.
decent, and it is decent. It's great in some parts, but some parts it's not as good. So I think
Yeah.
I'd fall on that 6.5.
Still
But
put a number of good hours. Like 8 hours is a solid effort in terms of
more,
what.
yeah. And it was that kind of decision where I think it would take me about 25 hours to beat. So it's like another 13 hours or whatever that is, 17 hours? 17 hours to beat.
Yeah, 17 hours to beat.
Or I could play something else, which I have started a
Yeah.
new game. Well, guys, I've started a game.
Oh,
I kind
okay.
of thought you might have
The
seen me
big
playing it on
reveal.
PlayStation, but maybe you haven't.
No, I haven't seen you play
No,
it at
I've
all.
not seen either.
There's a little game that came out in 2022, December 2022, that I was very excited for and never got around to playing it. I actually moved house that month, that's probably why. But it's called the Callisto Protocol.
Okay.
I've
Heard of
heard
it?
of that game.
It
Yeah, I've heard
is
of it.
made by people that left the Dead Space developer, because the Dead Space developer is no longer here. They made a new studio called Striking Distance something.
Yeah, I've heard of this.
Um,
Yeah,
and it's published by Krafton, who I believe publish PUBG, which is very disconnected.
yeah.
Although actually, apparently, it is in the same universe, but I call bullshit.
Really?
Yeah, it's just them trying to make a universe,
Fair
and
enough.
it is basically Dead Space. It is their version of trying to make a Dead Space again in the modern generation. I'm about 2.5 hours in. It's got a save file, so I can see exactly how far I am in. It's just shy, like minutes shy of two and a
Literally
half.
what Dead Space does.
Yeah, and it's good. It's good so far. I
Yeah.
am having a much better time playing this than I was Avatar because it's a
Oh, that's
single
good.
player, linear experience. There's just follow the path, just do what it's telling you to do and get it done.
Yeah.
Um, which I know some people like the open world stuff, but fine. And it is no Dead Space yet. It's not gonna. I don't think it's gonna reach the heights that Dead Space One reached, but it's fun so far. I'm enjoying it.
Would
It's
you?
much more melee focused than Dead Space. Dead Space
Yeah.
is all guns,
Yeah.
all different weapons. There are weapons here,
Yeah.
but it's much more visceral, in your face combat with these
Do
ugly
you,
looking motherfuckers.
do you think it's one that I should look into? Do
I
you think?
will review it in a few weeks and give you that because right now I would say yes. And I'm
Yeah.
actually gonna. I've been holding off because I wanted to talk to you about it first, but I'm gonna send you to some clips from the game so you get an idea
Okay.
exactly. You'll as soon as you see it, you'll be like, "Oh, that's Dead Space."
Yeah.
um,
It's heard about it, and I think it's one of those where I didn't engage or pick up it at the time. But as someone who loves like Dead Space, if it's kind of that same notion but just not as good,
it's so similar. And when
then
I say
yeah,
it's similar, like in Dead Space, you've got the thing where you can stop them in time and they like slow down.
yeah,
And I think you even had like the gravity thing where you could pull things and throw them.
yeah.
You've got that here. Not the stopping thing, but you can lift enemies up
Does
with
it?
your like magic glove and throw them.
Does it? Does it
Okay.
do the thing? Because this absolutely will be Dead Space, where you hold the right stick down and it shows you
No,
like a
not
blue line
that.
as to
No,
where you go. Oh,
no.
okay. 'Cause I'm about to say if they did that, then that's literally just Dead Space for now. But
Yeah, because I
um,
just remember the sound of that. But there's some things in this game I'm like that sounds the
yeah,
same.
sure.
Yeah.
But it's good, graphically fantastic. I mean, it's always quite easy
Yeah,
to make these games look good because it's so dark and you can use the lighting and stuff.
yeah,
Um, but I'm impressed. The story is what I'm worried about. I've got a feeling that I'm going to get to the end and be like, oh, I don't give a shit.
yeah.
I hope I'm
Yeah.
wrong.
Yeah.
I really hope I'm wrong.
Okay.
But no, it's
What's it
interesting.
called?
The Callisto Protocol. It was on Game Pass, PlayStation Plus at some point, so I've got it for free. Um, and apparently, as I said, going back to the Avatar thing, Avatar would have been about 17 more hours, give or take. This should be about 12. And I was like, okay,
Yeah,
I've
which
saved
is
myself
about
5 hours
standard.
and I'll probably enjoy it
It,
more. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah. Makes sense.
I also think that if I started playing it at some point, it would want me to then go back. Because the last time I played Dead Space was during our 24-hour gaming stream, and I just remember sitting there thinking I could have kept playing it because the first hour and a half I was like, "This is like nuts."
yeah,
Like, and it just brought me back to the Dead Space trilogy, loving that. So yeah, you're giving me lots of ones that I need to add to my list, Welchy. I don't need
it,
more games right now. You're giving me more games.
it is great. It is good. And obviously, I'll give a full review when I've done it and it might end up being shit. I don't know. But again, another comparison is you take the limbs off.
Oh, of course
So
you
it
do.
is just Dead Space
It's just
again.
literally Dead Space at this point, from
Um,
what you told me.
so yeah, there's like enemies, you can shoot their heads off and then they carry on running at you
Yeah,
and you're like, oh shit, okay, fuck.
yeah.
um, and the other thing is, it's not that scary yet, but I'm hoping that changes.
Okay,
Um,
interesting.
but yeah, that is going to be it for this episode. Thank you all for hanging out with us on today's episode. Let us know what you thought of Fable and Forza Horizon 6. Will you be getting them at launch? Drop your thoughts in. Oh, fucking hell. We have got some reader comments
Every time.
every time. Sorry, Jack. Jack wrote in. Jack. He said, really excited for Forza. 5 was a joy to play on the Steam Deck, and I'm leaning towards PC if it plays well on handheld. Talking about 6 again. If it doesn't, then it's only a short wait for PS5, as it's not day one, but will be 2026. Yes, we spoke about that. Fable, I will be more likely to pick up than Halo, but probably only if Fable reviews really well. Game Freak's new game, Beast of Reincarnation, also looks intriguing, and again, one that I might play if it reviews well. Again, that is the kind of game that is right up Jack's alley.
Yeah, definitely.
But thank you for writing in, Jack. And anyone else can write in by commenting down below or tag us on socials at the Late Night Pods. You can also join our Discord and use a link in the description to be able to get your messages in before we record our podcast, like Jack just did. One day I'll remember to get them in earlier, because I should have done that in the first part of this podcast. If you enjoyed the episode, please make sure to follow and subscribe wherever you are listening. And if you're watching on YouTube, hit the like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss next week's episode. Speaking of which, we are about to record it. We're doing the first gaming quiz of 2026. You will not want to miss this one. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. I've been your host, Welchy, joined as always by my co-hosts, Andy.
Yeah, thank you as always, guys. It's been a pleasure. And next time you see me, I would have won the first gaming quiz of 2026.
And Stephen.
Wow. Yeah, it's been a pleasure as always. And I'm going to be humble here and just looking forward to a really good competition.
Arsenal fan being humble.
No, right?
Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next time.